Here are the homework questions that you all asked for. Number 3. The first thing we want to do if we're trying to get it in terms of x means solve for y. So let's move that x term to the other side. And you could add it if you want to see it like that. And then y is trapped in this parenthesis that's getting squared, so we have to take the square root of both sides. So it's important that you just start getting in the habit of doing both sides. And then every time you introduce a square root in a problem, you get plus or minus the root. And then we just need the 1 subtracted from both sides. So we get -1 plus or minus the square root of x plus 3, or x plus or minus x plus 3 minus 1. So in order to check this, if you weren't sure, this plus or minus means 2 answers. So your y1 would be -1 plus the square root of x plus 3. And then in y2 on your calculator, you'll put -1 minus the square root of x plus 3. And whatever graph you get when it's done drawing both of these, that would be your answer. And it should be some type of this should not be a function. So it should fail the vertical line test. All right, number 5. All right, sort of similar to the last one. We're going to move that x to the other side, keeping the negative in front of the root. So we'll minus x and get that. Now I've got a negative in front of my root, so I need to divide everything by a -1, which will go through and change the signs of the 3 terms that we have. And then the y is trapped under the square root, so we need to square both sides. When you square a square root, you get the y plus 1 out. We do not have to write this down twice and FOIL it because we're not evaluating it. We're just trying to get y by itself and tell if it's a function or not. And then we're going to minus 1 on both sides. And this would have also been a fine answer. Whoops. Nope, wouldn't. That would have been wrong. That would have been a fine answer also. All right, next is number 6. All right, if we're trying to get the y by itself, we notice we have 2 terms with y's in it. So let's move this 1 to the other side and just keep these y terms over here together. If they weren't on this side together, we would have moved the y terms over together. And then if there's 2 terms and we're trying to get y by itself, we should factor it out, which factoring a y from that leaves x, and then you got a minus. Factoring the y from that leaves 5. And you're just trying to get the y by itself, so let's divide both sides by x minus 5. And so that's our answer once this cancels. 1 plus 2x over x minus 5. And plug that into your calculator. If you want to do the fraction prompt to y1, so you can put the 1 plus 2x in the numerator and the x minus 5 in the denominator, that's great. If you don't have a fraction prompt, then you want to use parentheses over the top and then divided by parentheses on the bottom. All right, and that should end up passing the vertical line test. Next is 7. Let's see, we got f of x equals, and they want us to find f of -5. So everywhere there's an x, we put a -5, and it's -5, the whole thing that gets squared, minus 6 times the -5 plus 23. If you missed it, it's probably because you just missed this thing that steals our joy. squaring, this has been getting us since, I don't know, Algebra 1 maybe. So this is the year you're going to tell it to stop. You're not going to let this take your points anymore, because when you square the -5, if you slow down and think about it, it's -5 times -5, so it's positive 25. Or anytime you square any number, it's always positive. But if you don't think about it, or if you just put this in the calculator, it will give you this. So you have to plug the whole -5 in parentheses and square it to get the right answer. That'd be my guess as to why we missed that one. 5, 6, 7, 78. All right, number 14. And if this doesn't do it, if you still have some questions, please come back and ask me some more. Ask me like before school or something. Is the negative cube root 2x minus 7 plus a 1, and we want to find a of 17. All right, I think I wrote that down right. So we're going to plug a 17 in for the x. And when we work under the root, we're going to multiply before we subtract. So we're doing all of our order of operations. 34 minus 7. 40 minus 7 is 7. 27. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. That's a perfect cube. That's 3 to the third power. That's 27. So that's a perfect cube. So the 3 comes out, but you already had a negative in the front. And then it's plus 1. So your answer is -2. One thing at a time. Number 16. G of x. And we want to find g of -5c. So we want to plug -5c in for these x's. So it's 3 times -5c minus 10 over -5c plus 5. So just looking at the numerator, we could multiply and get -15c minus 10. In the denominator, there's really nothing we can do to simplify. But when you look at all 4 terms together, you realize they all are products of multiples of 5. So we can divide a 5 out of everything and get -3c minus 2 over -1c plus 1. So that's a great answer also. And last but not least is number 17. H of x equals x squared minus x minus 1, and we want h of 2a plus 7. All right, this is just algebra heavy. So we're going to put 2a plus 7 in right here in parentheses and then square it. And then since this is a minus, we know we have to be careful with subtraction. We'll do minus parenthesis 2a plus 7 and then minus 1. So right here, we need to write that down twice so we can FOIL it. So that is first. I love to do outer for 14a and inner for 14a, so combine those and get 28a. And then last is 49. Right here we distribute a negative, minus 7, and bring down your minus 1. Combine like terms, you get 4a squared plus 26a. And then constant, so 42, 41, plus 41. Alrighty, hope that helps. If it doesn't, please come see me before school tomorrow so we can talk about it.